I saw on social media, there was so much hatred for Alia Bhatt and Karan Johar at that point. When I came to Bombay when I was 18 years old, and I Udan released when I was 21 years old. तुम तो खुद outsider हो, how can you say this? सुशांत की side होना चाहिए, हमें उसको justice दिलाना है.
Rajat, Barmecha, pleasure having you with us on Bollywood Hungama.
Same here, same here. Really, really good to be here.
How have you been doing? You've started shooting in the lockdown. What exactly have you been shooting for?
So we even shot during the lockdown from home. We did a few ad campaign which I've been doing for Amazon.
Ad campaigns, I believe.
Yeah, and then recently I started shooting for season 2 of a show I've done before. It's called Hey Prabhu. So we are doing season 2 of that show. So right now I'm shooting for that, and today is my day off.
Today is your day off. That's what I came to know. All right. So, what is it that the lockdown has taught you? I've been seeing your interviews since morning. You come across as someone who's like very sorted and like very zen, like someone likes to travel quite a bit. And I have a lot of respect for people who like to travel. So, what is it that the lockdown has taught you?
Yeah, the lockdown has taught me a lot, but some of those things, they were already there. मैं पहले भी वही सोचता था, but then the belief has become much stronger that एक तो we need to be like one thing what we really need right now is kindness and positivity everywhere, especially on social media, because and also I've understood one thing, that whatever hate, also negativity which we see, it's only on social media. If you step outside in the real world, everyone is there. They would go out of their way to help you. And just that social media has given, sorry to say, but unnecessary power to a lot of people who believe that they've got that power to do or say whatever they want, which is not cool. But otherwise, on a positive front, I see a lot of memes on 2020 being the worst year and how 2020 nikal jaye and we should skip this year. I completely disagree. I think 2020 is one of the most remarkable year for the humankind, for us in the bigger picture. I'm sure I am, like, you can say that we are the privileged ones, so we still have, like, our food is sorted, our stay is sorted. There are a lot of people who are going through a lot worse. So I understand all of that, but in the bigger picture, I think this all makes sense, because to grow as a society, I think we needed this push which we got in 2020. And also I think so many people are talking about so many issues which were supposed to be spoken about. So I think it's all because we are at home and people have got this time to introspect, to think about what's the priority, what's important. So I think that's a very good thing that happened in 2020.
Okay, that's I think I wouldn't be surprised that you may get trolled for that only, that you call 2020 to be an year which is remarkable. But what you're saying, I think, makes a lot of sense. So that's what I spoke about earlier, that the Zen quality that you've developed. So you mentioned in one of the interviews that it is because of your traveling that has really calmed your mind. You've started looking at life in a different perspective. You've started looking at your work differently. You've become more hungry, and you can look at the world from a larger picture by visiting a lot of places, meeting different people. Tell us a bit more about why do you feel that, and which all places have you traveled to the last few years?
So yeah, I think this perspective, the 21-year-old me would never have had like this perspective towards life and people. जब उड़ान आई थी तभी तो I had like a very different perspective of a young boy coming from Delhi wanting to make it big wala perspective. But then, I think there are few things like people told me, and few incidents in my life which I can think of right now, which have added to this. So I think the first one I would say, which I still live by, is what Vikramaditya Motwani, who directed Udan. So what Vikram told me the day he signed me, he said one thing, which is always look at the bigger picture. So I've made that one of the motto of my life. I always go with that. And that's why I've used it also, even in the first 5 minutes of this interview, I've used the bigger picture because I live by this thing. Because, yeah, no matter how much we read and travel, we still don't know even 1% of what's there out there, right? So always, आज हमें, like, what we feel right now, that this is the priority or this is important, uh, in the bigger picture we don't know what's going to happen. So we always need to see from that perspective. That changes a lot of things. uh, Secondly, traveling, yes, I think 2015 onwards, that I think I remember 2015 mein I saw a movie called Into the Wild, which just completely changed the way I saw life and the way I saw like work and happiness or whatever. Like, it just changed the way I looked at all of these things, and I was like, कि मैं क्यों कर रहा हूँ ये? Like, what is the point of stressing so much about things which, in the bigger picture, again, not it will not even matter. So the day I die, people will, I think, remember me more for the person I was with them personally than whatever I've achieved or the money I have in my account. That's not going to matter. So that's why I always started giving more importance to that. No matter, I live in Bombay, I have expenses, I need money to survive. All of that is practical approach, which is fine, but don't depend on it. Like don't let that overpower your personal life. So I always also say this thing, that make work a part of your life, don't make it your life. Because the day you make work your life, then you don't have anything else to look forward to. You should have, like, there should be 10 things which should complete Rajat Barmecha, not just acting or traveling or etc etc. So but agar traveling would be my entire life, then that this would, bug me. But now I have so many other things to look forward to. So that's why I think have a lot of hobbies and a lot of things you love about life than just one thing.
All right. So where all have you traveled?
So मैं बहुत यूरोप में काफी कंट्रीज किया मैंने travel. But then all the foreigners I met while traveling, they had such great things to talk about India. और वो आधी जगह मैंने नहीं देखी हुई थी. So I was like people are talking about it and I have not even seen my own country first. So then बीच में I think 1-1.5 साल था जब मैंने बहुत इंडिया में travel किया. So I went to Ranthambore, Varanasi, uh, all of Himachal. Like this December, I went to Oli for my New Year's. So normally I try my birthdays and New Year, Christmas time, I try not being in Bombay. So that I did. In Europe, I did Amsterdam, Italy. We did last year, I think. So yeah, a lot of places. But then more than the places I've covered, I think the world is so big that I can tell you 10 places right now which I really want to go to. So yeah, there's a lot to see.
South America.
It's in my list. Like in 2020, I wanted to do South America, I wanted to do Australia, and I definitely wanted to do Alaska. These three were on my list in 2020. Job, I think 2021 mein shift ho gaye. But then I really want to do.
That's interesting. No, that's very interesting. What other hobbies do you have?
I keep changing it. So मतलब मुझे जो, I'm very very spontaneous. It could be taken as a positive thing or a negative thing, I don't know. But I get like interested in many things. तो मुझे कुछ भी लगता है तो I'm very spontaneous कि मैं, I'll give you an example. Like I recently went to a friend's house where he had a cajon box. It's a musical instrument. So I started playing it क्योंकि हमने बचपन से like desk बजाया है. So I started playing it and it was decent enough. So my friend was like, dude, this is good. Like you have the rhythm set. So why don't you try it? So then instantly I just bought one and now I've been playing a cajon box every day. So like my hobbies, they keep changing. मैं जो समझ आता है वो बीच में, I love to write. That also started because of Udan. So I love to write. तो कभी होगा कि I'll just sit like रात को 4 बजे तक and I'm just writing something. So I keep doing different things, whatever.
And I think you've been writing a script for the last 1 year as well.
I just finished one in this lockdown. I wanted to write for almost a year and a half, but then I'm not a writer, so I was too lazy to get myself to sit and start writing. But then because of this lockdown, also very, very good thing that happened to me personally is that Recommend is a travel film.
It's a travel film. Okay, that's interesting. It is a film. All right, that's interesting. So you'd like to direct it yourself, or you would want someone else to direct it?
I would love to direct at some point, but not this one, I feel, because I want to act in this one. So acting or direction, and especially for your first film as a director, I think that's not a sensible thing to do. So I would want someone
That's no
else to
sense.
do it.
Rajat, as I told you, I've been watching a lot of your videos and interviews on YouTube, and so I came across this video of yours when after Sushant's death, you had posted on social media, and you posted a rather angry post about addressing it to people that now you are missing him, you are talking about him, but why did you not make him feel comfortable when he was around? Why was it that bad things were written about him? Maybe I think you were referring to certain blind items that have come under scrutiny as well, and the ways certain things were being said about him. It was an angry sort of post. You also mentioned about yourself that people tend to tell you that what really happened after Udan and how you coped with it. People are talking about mental health, but do they really care for it? It's been 2 months since he passed away. How do you look at the entire situation as of now?
It wasn't angry. So if you would meet me in person, that's how I am. Like not angry, but then I would use, like, in my daily conversation with friends also, I would use fuck. Like, it's not like I'm angry when I use a certain word. It's just like the way I talk. But then yeah, I was a little sad and pissed about it because I didn't know Sushant personally that well. I just met him a few times, and
Hmm.
I didn't know personally how he was, who he was. But then, just right after I got to know, I checked on the social media and news and everywhere, and the post that I saw or I came across, they personally, to me, they felt very fake and very, that अरे कोई एक्टर has अगर मर गया है तो उसके बारे में हमें लिखना ही है. It's like a responsibility. So they were not like heartfelt. I where I started thinking about life कि यार कैसे होता है ना, like once a person is no more, people have such great things. So then, and there's a thing with me that once I start thinking too much about something, I'm very, very vocal about things I believe in. So जब कुछ होता है, and if I don't say something about that, then I feel that I'm becoming a part of the problem. Because if you're not speaking up and you're just अपने आपस में दोस्तों में, if I say that अरे यार दुनिया में ये wrong, like ये गलत हो रहा है, this is wrong and blah blah, and I don't do shit about that thing, then I feel that I'm also a big part of the problem. So that's why I felt something and I just said it, because I was like कि अब बोलने से कुछ नहीं होगा. Like when a person he was alive, then you don't have to pretend to like him right now just because everyone else likes him. And you don't have to try and find personal connections with him because now it'll be in the limelight. So I saw a lot of posts where people were like कि अरे वो होना चाहता था, he really wanted to work with us. So like, now why do you want to just say these things so that you want to be there in the news? So I felt that was unfair, and that's not ethically right, I felt. Now my ethics, your ethics could be different. So that's why I always say that these are my opinions. I might be completely wrong with something I say, but this is how I felt. So that's why that post came from there. And also that I connected with Udan, because since 2010, I've had this situation where people have come up to me or people message my family and friends. I'm always okay when I'm asked things कि कोई मुझे पूछता है, तो I feel it's okay कि as in you want to know what I'm up to or what I'm doing. But then there was a
Right.
time when people started asking my family or my friends, कोई मिलता था कि अरे why is Rajat not doing a lot of good work, or why is he not why does he spend so much money on traveling and things like that. And I was like, so I don't not want to work. I want to do good work. The problem is I want to do good work. I don't want to just be there because it's a film with a big star. So I've been offered a lot of times. I've been offered films with like big stars where they're like कि नहीं नहीं आप पूरी picture में हो. So I'm like, I don't want to be just there. I want to add some value to the project. So those kind of things I've gone through, and that's why. So one of the interviews I also remember, I had said the same thing like I spoke to you, that I don't see death as a negative thing. So So I'd said the same thing कि अगर कल को मैं मर गया, then people will have good things to say about me. But right now, no one cares about what I'm doing or how I am. Like no one would ask me कि आप कैसे हो. They'll all ask me कि आप क्या कर रहे हो. ये like we've stopped asking people how they are and actually mean it. We just ask, yo, what's happening and how's work and blah blah. Like we don't ask how they are. So right now the main thing which was supposed to be spoken about, which we should be talking about, was mental health after, and that's how it all started. But then over these 2 months, it's gone crazy, bizarre, right? Like, it's gone to levels. I was like, how on earth are you even trying to do this? Like, why not keep it like if you say you love Sushant so much, have that basic respect and not, uh, not just try and take good things out of that. Like try and take stuff out of that.
Okay, so do you watch news channels these days? What do you
I
think about the cup?
completely, I completely stopped. I did watch
Mm.
things till a long time, but then after I got to know that I have to start shooting, I was like, that's affecting me too much. And it's everywhere. Your social media, your friends, they talk to you about the same thing. Your people who are not a part of this industry, they talk to you about the same things when they call you. So it was too much out there. So I was like, abhi mera shoot shuru ho raha hai, so I want to just focus on my work. And because वैसे भी news पे आधा it's made up stuff. So I don't want to get into that zone. I don't want it to affect me too much.
What do you mean by made up zone?
Like none of us, we exactly know what actually happened. So speculations pay, if you're trying to get content out of that, if just because you want to speculate things because you will get people to share your articles, or you'll get people to watch your news, or you'll make a big scene, or it's some other propaganda which is going on. So doing all of that is just taking it away from the core of this entire situation. And I feel that's not fair. So even like me watching it, I'm giving them power to affect me somewhere. So I don't want to give them that power. So that's why I stopped watching it.
Okay. So going back once again to that video of yours when you posted after the unfortunate demise of Sushant, and you were genuinely concerned, and you felt that the right sort of conversation should be taking place, and instead of trolling people and other things. Now, as a celebrity, when you see the private messages are being shared, the WhatsApp messages are being shared, the phone calls are being shared, a lot of other things are being shared. As a celebrity, do you feel vulnerable that this is not maybe what I signed for?
Somewhere you knew that these things will happen, to be very honest. But then, when I will talk about someone like me who didn't know this industry. So when I came to Bombay when I was 18 years old, and I Udan released when I was 21 years old. So coming from a background like that, when you're not very aware of how this industry is, so tumhe sab kuch, like you see everything very like nice and fancy. So you at that point you don't realize that there'll also be negative things that will be said about you. There'll be messages that might affect you. Us time pe tumhe lagta hai ki अरे I'm going to have fan following. I'm going to have like people, they'll message me, मेरी भी controversy होगी, मेरे भी rumors आएंगे. Like as a newcomer, you don't know how these things are. So you even these things, you take them like to be something fancy. But then when it actually happens, like I'll tell you, the video you're talking about, after that video, like for the first few, like for the next few days, I saw all like social media pe kya ho raha hai, and that video went viral. I don't know how. So I was getting a lot of messages where people were like, this had to be said. Like in fact, like I had like two very very prominent names, like big famous actors. They personally messaged me on my phone that this had to be said. So I found that very sweet. So I was like, okay, maybe there's something right. And मैंने दिल से बोला, but I'm sure I said something right. Like if people could connect with it. But then I saw on social media there was so much hatred for Alia Bhatt and Karan Johar at that point. So मुझे, and I kept reading it, and and at that point I was going to their profile also to see what they had to switch their comment section off because people were abusing them, and there was so much going on that again that affected me so much that I was like, this is not right. Because if you say that Sushant was made to feel cornered, and if you say that उसको अकेला feel करवाया था, उसको depression में डाल दिया था इन्होंने, and you're doing the same thing to another person, then it's a vicious circle. Then you're doing the same thing. So it's like it'll keep going on. So then I made another video which I was contemplating कि अरे यार लोगों को ये ना लगे कि अरे एक वीडियो वायरल हो गया है तो he just wants to gain publicity out of it. तो मैंने बहुत सोचा कि मैं नहीं करता यार, it won't look right on my part to now post another video. But then again, like for the entire day that day, I kept feeling so much. Then I was like, it's okay, let people think whatever. So I made another video where I said it's not right to abuse people. Like abusing Karan Johar is not the solution, because then we are being part of the problem. Uske liye in 48 hours, because of that video, I got not less than 4 to 5,000 messages on my Instagram, people abusing me so much. कि अरे तुम तो खुद आउटसाइडर हो, हाउ कैन यू से दिस, सुशांत की साइड होना चाहिए, हमें उसको जस्टिस दिलाना है, ये गैंग है, ये वो. एंड आई वाज लाइक, आई रिस्पेक्ट योर ओपिनियन, but till the point we don't know anything for sure, it's not right to put someone in like so down, like put someone down to a level where you never know how they are getting affected mentally. And when I said this, like there are so many people कि अरे अच्छा है उनका mental health खराब होगा तो चलेगा, उन्होंने सुशांत का खराब किया. So there was so much going on at that point that after a point I was like, I can't take this. So then I just completely went off this entire thing.
You spoke about Alia, and obviously now she's being called the Nepo kid, and apparently her talent is not good enough. And now since you have defended Alia Bhatt and Karan Johar, so you will be called as a chaplus outsider. How do you look at this name calling which is going on?
एक तो है, it's not mature, it's very childish कि हम मतलब आपस में एक दूसरे को कुछ बोल के बुरा बोल के क्या ही कर लेंगे. Like there's nothing we are getting out of it. And I've always believed that a man or a woman, like you are what your ethics are. So you really need to have certain ethics in life. So like no matter what someone calls me, like even after your interview, if for example someone calls me out and like says something negative about me, I would still I would try my best in my life to never come to a level where I have to be derogatory, or I will have to come to a level where I'll stoop so low where I'm calling people names. Because I feel agar ladna bhi hai, if you want to pick a side, have certain ethics even when you're doing that. If I want to say ki Alia Bhatt is a good actor, so now I'm not there, I'm not going ki are nepotism kya hai, outsider kya hai, blah blah. I'm not coming from that debate. I've seen her work, I've liked her as an actor, and that's all I'm talking about. And for me, nepotism, any which way, nepotism is not wrong. Like what's wrong is if you're putting someone else down, if you're trying to pull someone else down because you want to have your XYZ relative kid or whatever to come up, that's wrong. But if you want your kids or your relatives to succeed in life, why not? My parents, they want me to succeed. If my father was a big famous director or a producer, he would have wanted me to do films with him to make sure that my career is like taken care of. That's a very normal thing. You do that for your loved ones, you do that for your family. If I have a friend who has a family business, the CEO will always be that guy, no matter his junior is an MBA from whichever university, more educated than him, but still the son would be the CEO, right? So these things, they are like, it's very normal to have this. Now again, coming to your point, like calling people names, I feel that's wrong, because then you're again, what we need right now in this entire situation is more kindness and empathy. But then if you are doing this, then again you are adding to the hate which is going on social media. So again, you are becoming a part of the problem.
You've said something about like a rich man giving a chance to his or her, I think daughter or son is fine, but you're saying that pulling someone down is not cool. But there are also allegations, and there are allegations and by responsible people that pulling down does happen. So groupism does happen. It happens in other industries. It happens in Bollywood as well. I'll give you an example. So Shekhar Gupta, when we senior journalist, he recently wrote an article, and so when he was in Indian Express and was in charge of Screen and Screen Awards, and how Vikramaditya Motwani was supposed to be getting an award, and how there was lobbying happening from other teams that if you want us to be present for the award show, then we would want to have the best director award, something that tune. For ourselves, many people loved your performance in Udan. They felt that you deserved better treatment when it comes to awards. So there's a big question mark on the way the award functions tend to happen, and so those things are valid as well. So it's not as if that everything is hunky dory. Yes, there needs to be like a conversation. There needs to be a certain dialogue happening. That yes, when you're talking about competence, but then you need to have a more fair playing ground, and there should be things happening on the level of merit as well.
So
What do you
that
think?
again, I feel I always try my best to see it from all sides, like any situation.
Hmm.
So I feel the problem is,
Larger picture.
yeah, and yeah, like I want to not call someone wrong unless I've seen their point of view also. So now award functions are like, as a newcomer, when I came in the industry, I was very, very excited about award function. I wanted to go to all the award functions. I wanted them to give me awards, and I really, and when I didn't get that award, it affected me, and all that happened. But then eventually, very early in my life, I realized that it's me who's like, it's my bad if I'm looking out for that validation, for someone else to give me that validation, for me to make to feel important. I don't want them to tell me if I'm good or not, or important or not. If I feel I did a good job with Udan, if the audience felt I did a good job with Udan, I don't care if they give me an award or not. So there, I very, very early I learned कि यार awards for me, they don't matter. Like right now, I don't care if I ever get an award at any award functions or not, because to be very honest, like that's not the validation I'm seeking for. So now वहाँ पीछे जो चलता है, that we all know, यार, it's not a new thing that it's just come out. We've always known. We all know that these things happen. Uh, Now, as an actor, from my side, all I can do is not let that affect me. कि when I know कि यार ये merit पे हो ही नहीं रहा है, so how can that award decide my merit? Like it's as simple as that. And other hand, I think we really, as actors, we really need to understand where to seek validation from. Because अगर मैं social media की trolling से affect हो जाऊंगा बहुत जल्दी, या award नहीं मिला, like I recently, when you're talking about interviews, I also saw an interview Anurag Kashyap ka. So Anurag, in an interview, he'd said one thing, कि no one person or few people in an industry can make or break your career. They can somewhere make your career. Maybe they'll promote you so much that you'll do so many films for them. But they are not the only people who can break your career. आज मुझे like an XYZ would never give me a film. That doesn't mean another person is not going to give me films. If I'm doing another film which is good enough, like it's not the only like that Yashraj, if they give me a debut, I can survive in the industry. Even a Vikramaditya Motwani who had done nothing before Udan, like a new director, new actor, Anurag was not what he is today. He's like, today he's a brand. At like when Udan happened, he was still like, he was also trying to get there. So if we all can come together and we can still make a film which even 10 years down the line people are talking about, then I don't think anyone can make or break my career. Like I can do that to myself. It's eventually, at the end of the day, it's my choices and all of that. So yeah, I don't know where this conversation, I'm sure even if that happens, people do have like groups and groupism and wo sab hota hai, you can choose to ignore them. Like you can choose that, you can decide for yourself not to let that affect you. Now that, as an actor, as an individual, you have to be strong enough. You have to create your own, like rules or whatever. Like you have to create those things for yourself, for you to have and that's why what I said earlier, it's very important to have things other than films and work and everything. Because आज मेरे को, अगर मैंने एक फिल्म के लिए ऑडिशन दिया और I get approached for a film, it doesn't mean that if I don't get it, मेरी जिंदगी खत्म हो गई है. It's not that. I have a life other than that also. So it's very important to have that.
What do you have to tell to all the aspiring actors that if they're looking to become actors, if they're looking for stardom, and there's no harm in being a star, in aspiring to be a star. What are the important things that they must pursue? What is the importance of networking? What is the importance of marketing yourself effectively, having a certain level of PR machinery around you that informs people about whatever you've been doing in a positive, constructive way, and not leaking out scandalous stories about love life so that one can be in news, because I think that's not a good idea. But still, some people do it. So, what is it that you would like to tell to anyone who's watching? That what is it that they can possibly do to nurture themselves, to just work on themselves, to be in this industry and get known?
So, I would say wanting stardom is not a wrong thing or a bad thing at all. I want to be a star. I want to be famous. I want to have fans. I want to have money. Everything is fine as far as you don't lose yourself. So it's very, very important. The first thing, and also I always feel that no two journeys are similar. So never follow someone else's path. कि अरे XYZ person did it this way, तो उसके लिए ये चला था. Like no second journey could be similar to your journey. Will be yours, so you know what's going to work, because there are also a lot of your background matters a lot. For someone who comes from a background जिसके पास already बहुत पैसा है या decent पैसा है, they can afford to be choosy. But for someone who comes from a background जहाँ they really desperately need money to survive, you can't be choosy when you are starting out. You have to do work, good work, but you can't be choosy कि मैं खाली lead ही करूँगा या मैं खाली supporting कभी करूँगा नहीं, मैं TV नहीं करूँगा. Like you don't have these as far as you are doing something and you have you and your family, you are comfortably living a life where you get food on your plate. It's very important to have that. So keep that in mind. Then also it's very important to have, again what I said, ki have certain ethics, networking, PR, all of that is important. But like never try and do that out of, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you feel bad about something. Like it's a very, very filmy thing and a very cliche thing when you say it. I do that every single day, even today, that I will look at myself in the mirror and I should not be ashamed of myself. So that's very important, that no matter what you do, you really have to be proud of yourself. No matter who likes you, doesn't like you, if you know that you are doing something which is ethically right for you, then that's very important. Gym जाना है, body बनानी है, ये करना है, वो सब it's personal choice. I'm not saying anything is right or wrong. Just remember not to lose yourself trying to be someone else. It's very
All right.
important.
Okay, apart from this paraphernalia, what do you think is the importance of doing your riyas as an actor? Maybe doing theater, maybe watching plays, maybe reading, and just interacting with people who are master at the craft, be it acting or direction or any other field whatsoever. What is the importance of riyas?
Again, it's a personal choice. I have friends who've been a part of theater for a long time. I have never in my life done theater or any acting course or any acting school I ever went to. I never could do that because I was like, कि personal belief था कि मुझे लगता था acting, you can't teach acting. You can learn the technicalities of it, but you can't learn how to emote, I felt. But then there are this side of beliefs where you, with your breathing, you can know how to emote or things like that. So again, it's a personal choice. But what I feel as an actor is one of the, or as a human being, one of the most important thing is to travel. So what you spoke about, interacting with people who are masters of this craft, even more important than this is interacting with people who have no connection with this craft. Like you go to a village in Himachal, sitting with someone and just having a conversation which has nothing to do with acting or filmmaking or any of your profession. It's still very important, because what life and traveling and people will teach you, no person, no acting school, nothing can ever teach you. Even I remember, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, I think I'm right, in one of the interviews Amir Khan had said this to Ranbir Kapoor, that travel as much as you can, because once you become famous, then you might not be able to do the travel which you can do right now. So what I do right now is something a Ranbir Kapoor can't do right now. The way I travel, like I still meet, sometimes I meet people who are like fans and they want pictures and they treat you differently when you're in a hostel in India. But then had I done it when I started out 10 years before, तो मुझे कोई नहीं जानता था ना, तब तो it would have been so much more easier. And then आज से 5 साल बाद if I become much more successful than I am today, then तो ये भी नहीं हो पाएगा. So when you have the time, travel as much as you can, because it will really teach you. And also if you don't read good books. I think it's very important. I learned this like really late in my life. I started reading only 5 years back, but I really wish ki people started earlier.
So what do you like to read?
I read a lot of travel books and spiritual books, but then I can't read like those self-help books. मेरे से नहीं होता वो अभी भी कि you have to do this, you should do this. I don't come from that background. I still don't feel you have to do anything. You do exactly what you want to. So I always come with that belief कि अगर आपको सुबह 6 बजे, if you're a morning person, then only you can have a great day ahead. नहीं, I am a night person. I don't wake up. I sometimes there are like days, weeks and months when I wake up at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. But that doesn't take away the fact that I'm still passionate about what I do or how I live. मैं रात को मेरा like my zone is very different at night. So रात को my productivity is so much different than it would be if I wake up at 5 in the morning. So you know, nothing is like you have to do certain thing, or you know, even law of attraction, you have to, you know, focus, believe and write and read. वो कुछ नहीं. Do exactly what your heart it makes you happy doing. क्योंकि अगर वो करोगे तो वो अपने आप सब perfect aligned होगा, perfectly aligned. Like things will fall in place if you're doing it out of love for that thing, then out of कि अरे उस किताब ने बोला है ये मेरे को सुबह 5 बजे उठ के कैंडल रख के ये लिखना है, वो then it will become like a job.
Last question, Rajat. You've also mentioned that the pressure of Friday can be very excruciating for a lot of actors. It can really bear a lot of people down. Now, OTT is giving you that option that you don't have to worry about the Friday numbers. You don't have to worry about the weekend numbers. You're not looked at from this perspective कि इसकी पिछली फिल्म कितनी चली थी, कौन सी टेरिटरी में कितना इसने कमाया था, किस तरीके का जो एज ग्रुप है इसको पसंद करता है, क्या इसमें गाना चाहिए, क्या इसमें ये चाहिए, वो सारे पैराफर्नेलिया जो हैं उससे आप लोग फ्री हो जाते हो. When it comes to OTT, how liberating do you think OTT platforms are for actors like you who take pride in being an actor much more than the stardom that is imposed on them by market forces?
I think OTT platform, they've been a big blessing for me and for a lot of people, I'm sure, because ek to for writers it's like you've come to a point where you can get your content out there, because with OTT again what we were talking about, the star value and it's not that much there, right? You're still trying to create good content, and also what numbers you're talking about, you know, numbers also in films तो एक point ऐसा आ गया है अभी कि everyone is giving ratings now. पहले critics होते थे, they had a job to give a rating, give stars, let people know. आज even if you go to a social media platform, people will be like कि अरे I give it 7, I give it 4 stars. Like everyone is a critic now. So like it's not even in your job and अरे वो hit हो गई because 100 crore कमा लिए. They don't even understand the business behind it. कि अगर एक 70 करोड़ की पिक्चर 100 करोड़ कमाएगी तो इट्स अ डिफरेंट थिंग, और अगर एक 3 करोड़ की पिक्चर 20 करोड़ कमाएगी तो इट्स अ बिग सक्सेस. सो दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दैट साइड ऑफ द बिजनेस. सो दे वेरी क्विक टू से कि अरे पिक्चर ने 100 करोड़ कमा लिया या 200 करोड़ कमा लिया. सो इवन नंबर्स दे हैव मेड इट इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर देमसेल्व्स, लाइक इवन द ऑडियंस, for them more than the content, it's about numbers. They also care about that, which I feel is like doesn't make sense. Why you don't have to care about it. Secondly, OTT platform, yes, like if you, again, it's a thing where if you want to get too much into it, OTT platform ka bhi you have like a backstory of like कि कौन सी age group ने देखा है, कौन सा scene, किस scene पे you got a hike, क्या होगा, वो सब होता है. It's just that it's not out there, so people don't get affected by it. It's just that when it comes to films, it's out there in open, like it's written about. OTT platform में भी ये सब होता है. They like an app would check every single thing कि किस actor के कौन से scene में भी sometimes you know, if you want to you can know कि कहाँ hike हुआ है या कहाँ पे लोगों ने rewind करके वो scene वापस देखा है. You can actually see all of that. But because it's not on social media and out there, people don't care about. But for me, what I just spoke about, financial stability is very important for you. If you are living in a city, you have your family here. So OTT gave me a lot of financial stability. 2015 onwards, when I started doing web series, it's made me financial secure enough for me to choose the content now I want to.
Very
Now,
nice.
now with films, I can do what I want to. Earlier, there was a point when I had to do things which I didn't want to, but I needed money. So now, because of this entire OTT culture, touch wood, like I'm secure enough that today I can have the liberty to actually just do the stuff I want to do. So
And
that I
travel
think is a big blessing for me.
and travel to Alaska.
Travel, वो पैसा वहीं से आ रहा है. Yeah.
All right. So, Rajat, wonderful talking to you, and it's wonderful to know your thoughts and that you're so sorted at such a young age, and you've thought your way through to come here. And आपका time आ चुका है, and I think we're going to see some really great work from you from here on. And keep on traveling, keep on coming up with great content, and keep on being the wonderful person that you are. Thank you very much, and all the best
Thank you so
wishes.
much, Faridun. It was really, really, even for me, it was a pleasure talking to you. And I'm glad we could do this. And very sweet of you to say that I look sorted, because that is my main aim. I need to be
No, no,
sorted.
I think that's a very people don't realize it, but if you're happy, then you're successful. People
Yeah,
don't
because that
people.
I would again say, like, a lot of people on social media, or when they meet me, they say this one thing is very, it's okay to praise your own self. So I don't even see it to be wrong, but they praise for me for my skin. कि अरे आपकी इतनी glowing skin कैसे है? So I always tell people कि if you're happy from within, it will show on your face. So अगर आप
No, no,
genuinely
absolutely.
दिल से खुश हो, आपका सारा काम, like no matter what you do in life, you will have success out of everything. And if you don't, then you will take it as an experience. So eventually you will achieve what you want to achieve.
No,
So
that's a very good thought process. That's a wonderful way of saying
thank
it.
you. Thank you. It was
So
really nice talking to you.
anytime, same here, same here. All the best, man. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.